Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Tera and I do video game covers, and today we are going to actually do another violin review. I was contacted by Fiddlover violin shop to go ahead and review their beginner violin Q033, and yeah, I am very excited to show you everything that comes with it and just kind of give you a honest review on what I think. So let's get started. All right, let's unbox this Fiddlover violin from the Fiddlover violin shop. This is the box it came in, which is kind of cool. It actually has the name of the shop on it. So let's go ahead and open it. You definitely did a good job packaging it. So this is kind of the packaging that they used. Set that aside. Here is the violin case. It's nice. It's got these handles here. And I like that it has the usual mechanism to open and close, and it's got the zipper to go all the way around on either side. All right, that's kind of cool. So first of all, it might have gotten loose when shipped, but this should be locked in like that. This is a cool card. I like that. It also comes with a sticker for the finger tapes, and just so you kind of have an idea of what notes you're playing on each string, which is kind of cool. Okay. So they actually packaged this a little bit too, which is cool. I'm gonna have to adjust things a little bit, but that's all right. They do also provide you with a shoulder rest. I mean, it feels okay for a beginner, that's not bad. All right, they gave me a couple extra things. We got our usual microfiber cloth in here. We have a practice mute, and this one in particular is actually one that you use when you're not in the orchestra and it asks you to use the mute, but when you're just practicing, this mutes the sound a lot. So this is really just for when you're in your home and you don't want to disturb people, you would use this. Looks like they also gave me some rosin, so let's take a look at this one. That's what it looks like. I think it's bigger than what I got from the glary violin that I was sent. I will do a comparison, but I'm pretty sure this is bigger, which is nice. Let's see what else we got. We got a strap for the case, so if we want to have it over our shoulder, we can do that. They also gave me a little tuner, which is kind of cool. The tuner that I have for my current violin, I've had since I think since high school, that tuner, and it's still going strong. But I will definitely try this one out and see how I like it. And then this is a better bridge. So the one that I think they gave me that's outfitted right now is the standard bridge. It's okay, it's out of tune. Let me check. Yeah, this is just a standard bridge for the beginner outfit. They did provide me with a better bridge, which I believe this is the same one I actually have for my violin. That's, I mean, somewhat expensive. So I'll probably change this out, but in terms of the curving of the current bridge, it's actually not bad. I'm not sure if you can see, but it is tapering on this side closer to the E string, and that's what we want. So already it's looking a lot like a lot higher quality, even though it's still considered a beginner violin. And then they actually provided me with an extra set of strings. So this is the regular set that they give for beginner outfits. They added this one in as well, which D'Addario Prelude. I believe I actually used these strings when I was in high school for the violin that I had back then. Prelude and Pro Art, I believe those were the two strings I used. So really cool that they do include this as well, just so you can kind of see which one you like better. I mean, my go-to would probably be to outfit the violin with this, but you never know. These actually might sound good as well, especially for beginners. I'm not sure if you're able to really tell the difference too much, but I do like that they included an extra set of strings just so we can do some trial and error. And let's take a look at the bow. Let's put this aside here. So this actually feels very similar to the bows that I'm used to playing with. So that's actually nice. I will do a comparison to see how the length compares and also this aspect as well, because I know that differed for the glary violin set. But I do like, you see how this has that little circle, and that is what I'm used to. It's not really raised or anything. It's kind of inset a bit, and that looks really, really professional. So I do like this a lot. All right, let's go ahead and open this letter envelope here. It says, "Best wishes for you." Got a little tassel, which I think is cute. And there we are. And it gives you the email and everything like that. So that's kind of cool. So this is, I guess, just like an extra piece of paper. If you want to use it to take notes or something, you could totally do that. But yeah, that's a really cute detail that they added. So with this violin, I'm going to kind of leave it with the original outfitting for now, just because for most of you, this would be how it would come. I am really liking how it looks so far. When I'm looking at this, it definitely does look higher quality. It's still a beginner violin, but I can really, really tell the difference between this one and the other beginner violin that I had. So I'm just kind of giving it a once over. I mean, look how beautiful that is. So the bridge is a little crooked, but we can easily fix that. So I am actually gonna do it this way. So usually you want the bridge to kind of line up with the little notches of the F holes here. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. I'll try to zoom in a little. But yeah, so you want to make sure that the bridge is lined up around where those notches are for the F holes. And you also want to make sure that it's nice and straight. As straight as you can get it. I really like how it looks. I am very excited to play it. This, like the other one, has these fine tuners right here, and that is very common for beginner instruments. So it's easier for you to tune if you're slightly out of tune. This is very out of tune, which is totally normal just because it was shipped to me. So it's gonna take a little bit for it to kind of settle. It's going to go out of tune a little bit here and there. So I'm gonna keep checking on it and tuning it just to make sure that it stays in tune eventually. So the fine tuners are all working as expected. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of check it over the course of the day, keep tuning it up, and I will see you guys after it's kind of settled and I will play it for you all. Okay, you guys, it's been a few hours. I've been trying to keep the violin in tune here and there, just kind of checking it, you know, while I'm working and things like that. I do have like all three violins out right now. I'm gonna just give my review on the beginner outfit. So the violin itself, it does feel very high quality. So this is this violin versus the other beginner violin. So you can kind of maybe be able to see it just feels and looks a bit better quality than this one. Way that they put the strings on, I know that was a big thing that I had mentioned in the other video, that these strings, the notches don't really look like they're made very well for the nut here. This looks a lot cleaner. So I'll zoom in here. So you can kind of see that they actually do look like they're cut the proper way. I did also measure the distancing between each of the strings for the notches here. They're about 1/2 centimeter each, which is very, very similar to what my violin has. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because the closer together the strings are, the harder it will be for you to play on that string without accidentally hitting another string, right? That was an issue that I had with this violin pretty much right off the bat. Well, the action's pretty high on it, but also just in general, I was hitting the other strings pretty often. I understand that a lot of people, they're trying to save money when they're trying to get a very beginner violin, but at the same time, you don't want to cheap out too much, because these kinds of violins, depending on how it's made, it can make it super easy or super difficult to play. So this is actually sounding pretty good. Again, this is just the beginner setup. I did rosin this bow, and this bow feels pretty nice too. It's very similar to the bow that I use for my own recording and playing. So I'll just do like a scale. Arpeggio. So it's not too bad. It definitely projects. Not as loud as my violin, but again, for a beginner violin, this is actually pretty good. I'll do the E string, because the E string can sound bad or good depending on, you know, the quality of the violin. I'll play a little bit of Bard Dance from Baldur's Gate 3 just because that is a cover that I'm working on right now. So let's go ahead and do it. It's not bad. The E string's not bad. It's easy to shift. I'm not really hitting the strings on accident here. Let's do like, oh, I don't even know. Like sort of Grief and Sorrow. But yeah, the tilting from what I'm used to on my violin, I'm tilting my arm to hit the right strings and I'm not accidentally hitting any others. So it feels very similar to the one that I'm used to, and you know, like the higher end violin, which is obviously very, very good news. Definitely like this violin a lot. I think this might end up being my prop violin for when I want to record or film outside. I definitely like how it looks. It's a bit darker than my current one. You kind of see the difference here. But that being said, it's definitely easy to play for me as a violinist, and it was easy to tune. The actual bow was, I think it took maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes for me to rosin it so that I was actually able to play with it. I did use their rosin for it, so it took a little bit, but again, this is pretty good rosin. So this is the one that came with the other violin. This is the one that came with the Fiddlover. This is a lot bigger. They both have this kind of opening here, so you can kind of push the rosin out. Hopefully that's actually focused properly. I can't tell. But this is a lot smaller than this one, as you can see, and the cloth surrounding it is also a lot smaller. So this is already a much better rosin because you get a lot more of it, and the cloth is a lot bigger as well. So definitely like this, but feel free to get a different rosin if you feel like it. I have so many different ones. I have one for my violin, I have one for my viola. For a beginner, this is a good rosin to have. All right, another thing that I want to mention and compare is this bow that we got from Fiddlover and the bow we got for the other violin, the beginner violin. So I can tell that this quality is just not as high as the Fiddlover bow. I'm definitely impressed with the quality of the violin and the bow from Fiddlover. They definitely put like time and effort into making sure that this is a good quality product, even though it's cheaper than, you know, some of the other violins that you might find at your like local music store. So yeah, in general, I really do like this violin. I think it's a great option for beginners. I do want to also test the other string and bridge combo, the more advanced outfit. So I am gonna go ahead and do that. So I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I have actually replaced the bridge and put on the D'Addario Prelude strings, and I tuned it up. It seems like it's staying in tune. Let me double check. What I'm gonna do is, with the Fiddlover provided bow, I will play Bard Dance again on this so you can hear the difference between the original outfit and the advanced outfit for the bridge and the strings. And then I will also play the same thing on my higher end violin so you can hear the audio quality, tone, you know, whatever difference that there is between those two violins. So there's a little bit of for the open strings, but these also have not been broken in yet, these strings, obviously. So in general, I really do like the sound of the strings. The bridge, compared to the original outfit, it's like the most minuscule amount taller than this bridge, but it's so little where I don't really think anyone's gonna really notice. And I did also see that the curvature of the bridge is actually a little bit more so on the original outfit. That might just be to help people who are beginning to really learn the tilt to get to the other strings. So although this one does have curvature as well, it's a little bit more subtle, and that might actually help with faster playing, trying to cross strings, doing double, triple stops, because you won't have to tilt the bow as much. So it is a bit more of like an advancement, which makes sense because this is the more advanced outfit. So overall, I don't really notice that much of a difference between the two. I do like the strings for actually both. I definitely believe that because this violin is already such good quality, any changes that you make is gonna be for fun and just try it out, versus like, oh, I have to basically fix the violin because I can't play it as is right now. That is definitely not the case here. Like, you can play this straight up out of the box, out of the case, like I did. Just tune it up, get your shoulder rest on, which I actually don't mind. This feels good to me as well. It's basically like a coon, which is what I have on this violin. Let's play the same thing on my violin, but still using the Fiddlover bow. should be able to hear the difference in quality. These open strings don't really make that kind of abrasive sound when you're playing them. Again, it could be because these strings are not broken in yet. Because this Fiddlover violin, it has high quality materials as well, I really do think that it is a great option for people who are just starting out and want to have something that is kind of like just open and play. And you don't have to really worry too much about changing this, fixing that. This violin, it feels sturdy. It is definitely good quality. I'm basically able to play just like I am on the other violin. In stark comparison to this violin that I got and reviewed a few months ago, this one, because of so many issues with like the nut and the fingerboard, the bridge being really high, not having any curvature at all, like this is actually a lot harder for me to play. I do think that this is still a good option for beginners, but just know you're gonna have to put work into it. Whereas if you want to spend a little bit more money and not have to worry about any of that, the Fiddlover violin is an excellent choice. All right, there you guys have it. I'm honestly really impressed with Fiddlover. This is definitely the best beginner violin that I have tried thus far. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.